go ahead and get started. All right, welcome everybody to our fertility yoga happy hour. And my name is Farrar Duro. I'm here to help guide you for this brief period of time into different types of poses that can help reset your nervous system, to help relax you a little bit. And also if you're undergoing any fertility treatment right now, just make sure that you check with your provider and make sure that's okay. This is very gentle, but if you just had a transfer or you might be pregnant, you want to just take that into consideration, be very gentle with yourself. And these particular poses we're going to do tonight are supportive for post-ovulation, but you can do them at any point. So typically if you have from the point of ovulation till your period comes, these are all very safe, gentle poses. And for partners, we might do some visualizations for our reproductive system, but just kind of think about, that visualization and think about all the things that might be helpful for you and your partner. I think this is great to do together. So just kind of breathe with us and hopefully both of you will come out of it much more relaxed. Okay, so we're going to take a seat on our mat. And you could sit with your legs crossed with one hand on your chest and another one on your belly. And I want you to take a deep breath in and just take a moment to soften your belly and let your breath deepen. Allow your attention to rest solely on the sensation of your lungs filling up with air and emptying. And let the sensation kind of call you inward. We spend so much of our day outward. We're about to go inward for the next few minutes. So think about pulling inward and being here in this moment. As you feel your breath slowing down, we're going to try the breath we did last week where you breathe in through your nose. Constrict your throat just a little bit so you have kind of an ocean breath when you exhale out. So we'll do 4 of those. Deep breath in through the nose and make your breath audible. So if your partner's sitting next to you, they can hear you kind of like a snore sound. And just close your eyes and just take a moment. Take a deep breath in and breathe it out. And feel your shoulders kind of dropping, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And if you just raced home from work or you're working at home or you're just not really feeling like you're in the moment right now, try to take another deep breath in and see if you can sink further inward. All right, very good. Now we're going to clasp our hands behind our back. And we're gonna, if you want to, you can actually go onto your knees for this. And we're gonna just look back and stretch. So we're kind of gonna look like this, where you're stretching back and opening your chest. This is really good for if you've been typing all day or you're on your computer or your phone, to kind of open up the chest a little bit. And we're gonna hold this position for 10 breaths. And then take another deep breath in, go a few more, and you can look up or straight. Great, now bring your hands to your knees. And we're gonna basically do a seated cat-cow. So what that looks like, it's just basically a gentle stretch to the front of the body. And it also helps to encourage circulation within the reproductive organs. And it balances your system by synchronizing both hemispheres of your brain. So basically, we're going to kind of go through the knees and we're going to arch our back leg forward a little bit and look down, and then bring our shoulders back. So you can actually roll them forward if you like, and then roll backward. Just do that a few times. We're going to do this for about 10 rounds. So go forward and exhale back. If it feels good to hold your breath for a few moments and release, you can do that. Okay. And after you've done that, we're going to actually go to all fours for cat-cow. And we're going to wake up our spine a little bit. I've been sitting in the car for an hour, so I really think this will feel good. And for cat-cow, we're basically going to draw the belly upward, breathing in, and then draw it down and breathe out. So just do exhale in, inhale, and then exhale out. Again, inhale. And exhale. Inhale in. And exhale. And take a moment to check in with your body, and you can kind of rotate your side to the right and the left very gently. You might want to do a side stretch. And you can go into child's pose for a moment and try to wiggle your fingers to the right and then pull towards the left. So you're getting a little bit of a side stretching. And gently come to the other side. Stretch out the right side by pulling your hands to the left and rotating towards the right. And you can let your head hang down a little bit. Relax your neck. Okay, and we're going to actually go into a low lunge. So I want you to kind of breathe into the hips and encourage to kind of release any tension they might be holding. So we're going to bring our right foot forward, and we're going to actually go a little bit forward. So whoever said they wanted hip openers, got it for you today. So we're going to basically just hold this position for a few breaths. And this creates more space for the ovaries on the side of the extended leg, and it helps with blood flow as well, which is very important. So after you've held that, we're actually going to do the other side. So I want you to pull the left foot or whatever leg you didn't do, and we're going to lunge again and hold that. And low lunge is basically where your knee is still touching the mat. So we're actually feeling that stretch in the hips, opening up. And take a deep breath in and breath out. And then we're going to take it into a high lunge. So for this, we're going to continue to breathe to release the hip. And I want you to kind of come up into a triangle pose. Right? And we're going to like look through the other side where we're just doing a little bit of a twist. So we're going to hold this position and breathe in. Take a few deep breaths out. And try to reach back with your arm towards the ceiling. You don't have to go too deep, but hold that position. And gently go to the floor. We're going to actually change our legs, switch, and now go to the opposite direction. So whatever direction you just did, you can actually go to the other side now. You can place your hand outside the foot or inside, wherever feels more comfortable for you. For me, I always kind of place it next to my foot and do a twist. So both legs are straight. You can keep a slight bend in the knee. And we're going to hold this for 5 breaths. And gently come out of that pose. And we're going to go into child's pose. I'm sorry, into downward dog. So we're going to move our blanket so we don't have issues there. And when you go into downward dog, we're going to push through your arms and let your head drop down. And if your heels don't touch the mat, it's okay. You can pedal your feet very gently and just play around a little bit with loosening your ankles. And if you're already here, just take a deep breath in through the nose. And out through the mouth. You could continue your ocean breath, or you could practice breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Whatever feels good today. Okay, now from here, we're going to go into child's pose with a pillow. So if you have your pillow nearby, you can grab your pillow and you can go into supported child's pose. I actually like with 2 pillows. If you have a bolster, you can also put the bolster underneath your belly. And we're going to hold this pose for quite a few minutes because I want you to kind of sink into it. So I want you to take deep breaths in through your belly as you start to let yourself settle into your womb. And listen closely for the information your womb wants you to hear today. There might be a color or a word that's coming up. So I want to meet yourself with gentleness and tenderness. And I'm going to let you sink further and further into this pose. Gently open your eyes and come into supported bridge. There's no rush, take your time. We're going to actually flip to our back, and supported bridge is actually done with pillows. So you're going to lay here a little bit and let your arms fall forward. Now you can actually stack your pillows higher underneath your back. That's actually a little bit better. And then if you have an additional pillow, you can put that underneath your head. So how this pose, when you sink into it, you basically can let the arms fall to the side. And you just spent time with child's pose, which is in the opposite direction. This pose actually opens up the chest, opens up the heart. And I want you to take a moment here to feel anything, any blockages, any feelings that have come up as you were in child's pose. And think about kind of letting those go, breathing through them and releasing them. If you felt any tightness in any part of your body, just check in and see where that's coming from. Could be your lower back. If it is, you can kind of, rotate your knees a little bit. But I want you to take a moment to sink in to this pose like you were sinking into your child's pose. And we're going to hold this pose for a few minutes. And whether you've been actively moving towards conception or not this month, I'd like to encourage you to see a little seed of life now resting in your womb. And I want you to see your womb loving and embracing this little seed as it begins to nestle into the uterine lining, burrowing in, implanting, and flourishing. And maybe you can cradle this image with love for one breath, one pose, or for the rest of the class. And whatever you feel is perfect to do. I'm going to hold this pose for a few moments. Take a deep breath in. Breathe through the throat for ocean breath. Or you can try our humming breath that we did last week. And that is basically making a little humming sound. You go. Mm. So you're basically breathing in through the nose. Mm. And making a little humming bee noise. You can try that and play around with that. And if you want to use your blanket, you can do that too, around your legs. Feel any tension in your face. Relax. Feel your eyes, your mouth completely relaxed. Just take one more breath here. And gently roll up. And we're actually going to take a moment to butterfly our feet and our legs into Baddha Konasana. And again, this is going to be very similar because you're still in the same spot with your pillows here. And we're going to do supported Baddha Konasana with a few breaths in through this pose. So if you have a blanket, I like to kind of, twist it here so that it supports your knees. If you're hyper flexible, like I am, it kind of falls open sometimes. So you can cushion your knees with the blanket. And we're already set up for this, but if you want, you can put even more pillows. And we're actually going to go into Baddha Konasana for a few deep breaths. And if you like, you can put your hand on your belly and one hand on your heart and try the opposite of what you did in the beginning of class. So you take your hand and one is on the lower side of your abdomen, kind of over where the uterus or above the pubic bone, and the other is on the heart. And we're going to continue our breathing. You might feel sensations throughout the body of energy moving up and down the middle part of the body or the center. And you might not, but that is actually where we'd like it to go. So if you feel any heaviness or feeling like tensions being released in certain areas, that is all a good sign. So go with it. So just take your breath in and release it out through your nose. And here you can practice your hummingbee breath. Bring it in. And humming it out. And you can keep your hands where they are, or you can keep them at your side. Relax your face and go inward even more. Continue your breaths for a minute or two. And gently come up. You can open your eyes. And I want you to find a wall if you're close by. Hopefully you have a little mat lying on. Hopefully you have a wall close to you. And you can put a pillow underneath your hips. So this is going to be supported Vipassana with your legs up on the wall. So I'm going to show you how you can get into it. You can sort of slide your feet up like this and just lift your hips up so that your hips are above your feet are above, stacked up on your hips. And you can use a bolster or a pillow to support your hips there. So I'm going to turn around to face you guys, but hold this position for a few breaths and kind of make sure that you feel comfortable. If anything is bothering you, adjust your position. And this actually allows blood to go through your limbs to the reproductive organs and then back towards your heart and torso. So this is a restorative pose. It's one of my favorites. And it actually helps support hormonal balance, deep rest, and feelings of calm. So you can actually come to this pose if you've had a really tough day or you're not feeling so good, and it actually oxygenates everything. It's really helpful. So you can actually keep your arms to the side, or you can put them over your head, whatever feels comfortable for you. And also, if you'd like, you can place your hands over the womb and consciously absorb the warmth from your palms into your womb and belly. And continue to see your heart and womb supporting your beautiful little seed of life that you visualized a few poses ago. And you can maybe even seeing this seed now starting to unravel and take root. And we're visualizing this life growing in this warm, luminous womb, filled with, we mentioned that orange light that we talked about last time. And just take a few moments here to rest. And now bend your knees slightly and let your knees drop to one side. And notice the sensation that you have in your hips and your legs. And you can come back to your mat or your pillows where they are. And we're going to grab a chair if you have one, or I have this big cushion here. You can have, if you have cushions, you can actually stack them once again, because we're going to do a chair shavasana today. So this is actually this is our final pose, but it actually helps us sink even deeper into relaxation. So if you have a chair nearby, you can try it. Otherwise, stack some pillows. And it's basically going to look like this. So you're going to let your arms fall to the side. You can even go on a higher stack, which is really nice. You just kind of play around and see what feels better. And so we're going to let our spine sink into our mat. And if we want to, if our back doesn't feel good like this, you can put another bolster on the back as well. This is very supported. So we're going to let our hips sink in to the mat and take a moment to find this position where you're comfortable. And because we've just had our legs on the wall, you should feel kind of a lighter sensation now in your hips. And we're going to have our knees bent slightly into our chair or our cushions, whatever you like to use. And as you go further inward, I want you to come back to your breath and picture your heart opening and your womb shimmering and receptive, so filling up with that orange glow. And allow yourself to surrender into the support beneath you. Nothing more to visualize or imagine, just simply feeling the warmth and connection you have that you've cultivated in your womb and your body. And as your eyes close and your breath slows, I want you to use this time to notice any tension that you have that's still there and take a moment to release that. You can stay here in this pose for as long as you like, or you can slowly roll to one side with your knees together and your eyes closed. And I just want you to take a moment in closing to end your practice with a word of kindness for yourself, your partner, your journey, and all the bravery and all the courage it's taken to get to this point. So if you'd like to join me in an Om, we can do that. One Om. Take a deep breath in. Om. Thank you guys for coming tonight or today, whatever time of day it is in your world. And I hope to see you next week. Thank you very much for being here. And good luck with the coming week. Bye, everybody. Bye.